In the arms of the Father, scars of the past concealed. In the cracks in the armor, rags of regret beneath the steel and rags still covering the shade. Gods and titans shudder at the name. Fall to the pain again. Ash on the fire. Cold to the rage again. Born back to the fire. I am chaos. I am war. I am fury. And I'm yours no more.
Hey everybody, we are here at the Streamer Talk Podcast. We're live on Twitch TV as you see us play our pretzel thing. We're gonna start things off with a big bombshell. The big bombshell. As we're gonna be live, we're gonna be live and for maybe a couple hours. We'll go and see how long it'll take us to get phone calls, because we're taking phone calls during this, guys. Let me unmute the Discord. I'm the only one in here right now, so we're just going to continue to do this and go through this stuff. Hey there, folks. So, basically, if you missed a show last night, Nicholas DiOrio and Shiloh got into a big battle with Nicholas DiOrio, and he dared ask questions, and he's called an abuser. He is called a doxer. He is called... he is called, let's just say... Well, I'll let Nicholas DiOrio tell you, because we have his video that he dropped. We're not going to watch every second of it, but we're going to comment and pause like we normally do.
And had their own family harassed, as someone who has fought for both just death.
Let me just see this here. I'm gonna go back just a little bit. There we go.
Okay, so this is a video I never expected that I'd have to make. I've defended many creators who have been forced to make one of these videos, and I never thought that I'd be put in a position where I have to make a my side video. My name has been slandered. I've been the recipient of a TOS violating harassment campaign, and I have been misrepresented continuously by a woman named Shiloh, who is heavily involved in the anti-Onision situation. As someone who has been doxxed before and had their own family harassed, as someone who has fought for both Just Destiny, who was doxxed and falsely accused of pedophilia, and creators like Slazo, who were falsely accused of being a rapist, I unfortunately am very familiar with e-celebrities being perfectly fine with lying and slandering people. I'd like to preface this by making it very clear that I am not a supporter of Onision. I have never been a supporter of Onision, and I don't plan to ever be a supporter of Onision.
I back that 1,000,000%, folks. I am in no way, shape, or form an Onision supporter. I want to make that perfectly clear at this point. I'm not an Onision supporter. He's a scumbag. That doesn't excuse what Shiloh did, as we get to in this video.
I do understand that both Sarah and Shiloh have gone through traumatic experiences in their lives and or childhoods at the hands of Onision. I have no experience with the hardships that they have faced, and I empathize with them from perspectives that I do have. However, we are not discussing Onision or abuse in this video. In fact, we are talking about something entirely different. This situation begins with an interaction that I had with Sarah on Twitter, where I replied to one of her tweets and then placed the same tweet verbatim into her direct messages.
As he's every right to do that, because, honestly, he's trying to get to the bottom of it. Something didn't add up for him. I don't blame him for doing that. We're gonna go to 5 minutes here. 5:09. And Diorio, I don't think, was out of line in his report in what he was trying to do. But the response, and oh, by the way, this Twitter account, this is that Twitter account. It has been yeeted off Twitter. Shiloh took so many L's she had to delete her Twitter account.
Rules. Doxing, to which she provided no evidence for, and she does this above the hashtag deplatform predators, which in my opinion clearly tries to paint me as a predator. In case that wasn't clear enough, she followed that tweet up with one saying that I'm a creep, and she added a bunch of screenshots. By doing this, she started a massive targeted harassment wave that forced me to private my account to avoid being false flagged off the service, which could detrimentally impact my channel. Okay, so let's break this down. Like I said,
Yes, let's break this down. I will have some things to say coming up soon. And by the way, we are a caller heavy show, so call in. We want to have a discussion. And this is a special episode. We're going to take you right up until about half hour before Tipster's show starts. That is the plan. We might go earlier, we might go later. We don't know. It depends on who calls in and everything. So let's continue on looking at this video.
Said previously, leaking DMs is not something that's considered to be a bannable offense by Twitter. However, she followed this up with saying that I'm encouraging the doxing of a 19-year-old girl. First of all, 19 is an adult. She is not a child. Stop looking for the feel bad for me pity points. Second of all, this is slanderous and completely unfounded. It is so unfounded that she was forced to retract it. The entire tweet of evidence the anti-Onision radicals were able to produce.
And by the way, Pink Pineapple did nothing wrong here. And she's apparently been getting doxxed from everything I've heard. And that's just... Come on, people. And the funny thing is, she was trying to help Sarah out. She was trying to help Sarah. And she gets this for it. Well done, anti-O people. Well done.
Was someone else's tweet entirely, and me replying to that person, which was out of context approximately 2 hours before. I debunked this almost immediately.
A user called Scarce Goes Hungry shows that there was a Twitter account called Pink Pineapple who replied to Nick, Josh Pescator, and 2 other people saying, "Anyone know what city in Michigan she's in?" There's also a tweet of Nicholas Diorio responding to Pink Pineapple saying, "Good find," but this wasn't in response to the previous tweet I just showed, but instead in response to the clip I showed earlier of Sarah saying that she wouldn't accept money from people.
Wow. So... And now we're going to go to like 7 minutes here. 7:14. So Big Brain over here, and I just want to make this clear before we get into more of this. I am not the Onision stuff. It has no bearing. It has no bearing at all into what Shiloh did. Basically, Shiloh sent a 34,000 person hate mob to Nick Diorio because he dared ask a question of Sarah. Are you serious, people? Are you, like, really? I get you, and we're going to get into a little later as to why Onision's most likely not going to jail. And the anti-O folks, you're not going to like it, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have to say this because she's sending a hate mob. She is sending a hate mob. Understand that. Just understand it. Like, what? Like, why would somebody... Dario's not doing anything wrong. Tipster's not... Nobody's doing anything wrong. Asking questions. We're allowed to ask questions. Are we not, people? Let's get into more of this.
To remind you, this entire situation is over a simple question that Sarah could have just ignored if she felt uncomfortable answering it. Also, I'm literally only 3 years older, so I don't know why you're
And I'm going to continue this, but we're going to let this play out a little.
saying that I like to smear young girls. But notice this tweet doesn't say that I'm a doxer on there. Oh yeah, there's a reason for that. The reason became clear in the next tweet because she knew she had to retract it. But instead of just apologizing and moving on from the situation, what does Shiloh do? She fucking doubles down and says that I still deserve to be reported. Well, unfortunately for her, Twitter disagreed. They sent me a nice email saying that my account didn't violate any of their guidelines and they wouldn't be taking action on my account, while simultaneously the tweet she brigaded me with was in fact taken down for...
And this, right here, is where Shiloh knew she fucked up. Shiloh knew she fucked up there when she tweeted that. Like when she saw this, she didn't tweet that. You know what I meant. Yeah, my brain's kind of fried today, but... Oh, let's continue.
For targeted harassment. Ironic. But she also says that I was trying to harass Sarah again, which she still has yet to show proof.
Saying you're trying to harass Sarah by asking questions. You fucking what, mate? You what? Asking questions is harassment. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I'm gonna play some of this more, but yeah, let me just get to the right thing here. Okay, we are in the right area of this. It's 9 minutes 17. Okay, so let's go to 9:17. Play this.
Someone who's threatening doxing? Shiloh. No, I'm not kidding. While this is all going on at the same time, she decided to jump on Instagram to try to play victim and say that she's risking her mental health by launching a targeted harassment false flagging campaign under the hashtag deplatform predators. She also threatened the fuck out of someone who made an admittedly
Shiloh, no! Now you're acting just as bad as Onision's acting. You say and I believe you might be a victim. It's not gonna be, this just goes to character now, because you're doxing people who are just asking questions. This goes to character. And I'm not a lawyer, but everything that I know about law, character plays a big part in this.
Shitty comment in Sarah's replies. To be fair to all parties here, I think this is an awful tweet and I don't support it at all. Which is why when it happened, people took notice that I was nowhere to be found in the replies under it. That being said, the context of the tweet is strategically missing. The conversation around the tweet from before this was about semesters. Sarah had
context is everything.
stated that school was starting soon, which is why she needed money for a laptop. However, it's February. People were talking about how it was weird that school would be starting in March, April, May. Angela said this poorly worded tweet so she could find out when the semesters would start at various schools in the Michigan area. This was the context that was available at the time to both Shiloh and Sarah, but the context that was omitted from the greater audience. While it was admittedly poorly worded, and Angela had absolutely no intentions to publish or harass Sarah in any way, I could understand being upset about this. But in response to this, Shiloh publicly launched a targeted harassment campaign to flag her. She stated,
And before we continue, I do have to play a voiceover I forgot to play. Welcome to the Streamer Talk Podcast. All opinions are and views shared on the podcast, either by hosts or callers, are theirs and theirs alone, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Streamer Talk Podcast. We are a call-in talk radio shows for streamers by streamers, discussing news, events, and more around the world of content creation, whatever platform it may be on. Phone calls are always welcome via the Discord link in the panels below during our live shows at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time every Friday night. Thank you, and please enjoy the Streamer Talk Podcast. Yes, please enjoy the podcast. I had to get that in because we're going to opinions, and it's my opinion. And Tommy C said something there. He's now calling everything into question, and he should. Things are sketchy. Things are just sketchy right now. We're gonna continue.
publicly on her timeline that if Angela didn't stop, Shiloh will pull up in real life, but it doesn't stop there. After Angela blocked Shiloh and went private to avoid harassment, Shiloh got around the block by sending a message through an alt account where she said, "I swear to God, I'm already on it, on finding where the fuck you live." This is very clearly a threat of doxing and significantly more aggressive than anything she's seen from the
This is what I mean when I say she's no better than Onision. Publicly going to dox, and there's going to be more evidence coming up in just a second here. Listen. I disavow doxing in any form. I don't necessarily even like deplatforming people. But it's something that has to happen when it needs to happen. But I'm just going to say this. I'm glad she deleted her Twitter or deactivated it or whatever. Because she realized she stepped in it and she realized that she messed with the wrong person in Nick DiOrio. No, because by doing that, she's turned the entire commentary community around on her. They were supporting her. They were going to give them support. But now after they did this, I don't see that ever happening. And this podcast will not cover the Onision stuff at all unless something major happens, like his arrest or something like that. You will not see that on this podcast. We continue.
The people that she's accusing of doxing. She also continued to message her telling Amanda to essentially kill herself for what she did. Normally I'd say an account
Death threats! Oh my god, death threats that have the receipts and everything. Really? Really, Shiloh? Yet you want to play the victim card and think that's going to get you pity for doxing people, get you pity for sending death threats to people. You're stupid. You're really stupid, Shiloh. I'm sorry you had to go through what you went through, and everything. But at the same time, and anybody who wants to hop into chat, feel free. Hop into voice, feel free. So, because I'm carrying this myself right now, but death threats! Just for trying to help Sarah out. And Pink Pineapple is not in the commentary community. She's one of the people who were supporting the victims, and this is what she gets for supporting the victims. Can you believe this? Fuck's sake.
Isn't responsible for what their fans do. However, when you're actively threatening people and intentionally sending targeted harassment campaigns, unfortunately, I think I would draw the line there at responsibility. Either a fan or Shiloh herself succeeded in doxing Amanda, and they called her sick mother, shared her maiden name and her town, and they distributed pictures of her child. And Sarah tried to call me a dox encourager. She tried to defend herself on Twitter and paint Amanda like she
Diorio is just hitting a home run here. I'm not gonna... There's more. There's more that we're gonna get into. If anybody wants to come on the air and talk about this, I can... Well, we're gonna show some of this. Let me just go up to the next one. So Shiloh is harassing and doxing somebody who's trying to help Sarah. Let me go to 12:13 here. Just check this shit out.
is claiming that his information has been leaked as well. What a fucking disaster. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here, Shiloh, that you didn't give me, and say that I haven't seen a DM where you sent this guy's city to people, so I'm not just gonna pretend this exists and create a flagging campaign on a little power trip like you would. After being called a doxer, Shiloh tweeted maybe the most unself-aware tweet that she could have possibly made, where she said that being falsely accused of being a doxer made her feel like she had a target on her back, which is insanely funny given what she was doing to me. I thought that's where the story would have ended. However, Bong King did just send me another message that I didn't initially believe was real. Apparently, at the time of scripting this last night, Shiloh also reached out to him. I had my doubts, but he managed to show me 2 examples to verify that they're real. One being where he navigates to the page and scrolls, and the other being where he clicks onto her account. These fucking messages, dude, they are crazy. In these messages, Shiloh accuses Bong King of being a mini Onision.
What? You serious? Are you fucking serious? Chat. I don't even know what to say here. Like, I don't know what to say. What do you got? What? A mini Onision? Are you kidding? Chat. What are your thoughts? Oh my god. This just is gonna get worse for Shiloh, isn't it?
Which would literally make him, by her own definition, a sexual predator. Shiloh states that she has family in his hometown, which is a direct threat to his safety.
Oh, threats of physical violence now. Oh, really, Shiloh? Really?
And she says that Bong King is lucky that her dad's dead. This woman is absolutely unhinged. Maybe in your mind you can defend her for the situation with Amanda, but I don't think Bong King posed any kind of a threat, and Shiloh resulted to acting like a complete unhinged degenerate. And that brings me back to my original point. I'm really fucking skeptical about how you girls carry yourselves. Admittedly, more so Shiloh now. I asked a few questions, and literally every party involved had a mental breakdown. I'll give credit to Sarah for a moment. She just blocked me, which is a completely normal response to putting out her DMs, and I can't be mad at that. But Shiloh, when I make a claim about how there could be some kind of fame and money motivation, and you have the audacity to try to cleanse me from the website, I'm gonna be pretty fucking skeptical. When you call...
As he should be. Shiloh, what you did was no better than what allegedly, and we have to say allegedly because it's not been proven in a court of law, even if we may think that this happened. We can't say it because it's not direct evidence. It's not been proven in a court. You will get into that when we get into another video later on. But oh my god. Oh my god. So chat, before I go on with this, what do you guys think? I'm always curious as to what you all think in the chat. And what people on the Discord think. Tell me what you guys think, cuz I'm doing this myself, and it's just you know what I'm thinking. But what do you guys in chat think of this whole thing? It's crazy, right? But it's gonna get crazy. We're just let me see if it is gonna get crazier. Yeah. So we're gonna go to the in summary. So 1531. Nick the Oreo is gonna sum it up.
Accused me of leaking DMs, and then she literally went and leaked DMs. Shiloh accused me of doxing, and then had to backtrack, but it turns out that she was the one doxing and threatening people from her alt account. Shiloh accused me of harassment, and fortunately for her, Twitter support disagreed. However, to add insult to injury, they found her tweet violated their TOS on targeted harassment. Shiloh attempted to deplatform me under hashtag deplatformpredators, and doubled down by calling me a creep, which absolutely could impact my real life and my job. Since then, she has called Bong King a predator in his private DMs by calling him a mini Onision. Shiloh made a half-assed apology, but indicated even after her tweet was taken down for targeted harassment that I still deserve to be reported. And this was all over a few simple questions. If I wasn't skeptical before, well, I certainly am now. In the end, by slandering my name and epically failing at deplatforming me, she did succeed in one department. The way she was able to effortlessly lie and brigade me with 35,000 people and double down when she was caught lying time after time tells me this woman's credibility should be questioned. I personally don't believe a word the woman says now if it doesn't come with a receipt attached to it. This situation has introduced a layer of doubt that I don't think she could have afforded to have in her current position. It doesn't help that a vocal minority of the anti-Onision movement supporters are absolutely fucking insane. If you don't blindly support them, they'll harass you, they'll call you a Greg Alt, they'll flag you,
and they'll just try to make your life living hell. And you should never do this. There's no, I mean, unless somebody actually completely fucks up and actually is this, then I can kind of see the hate mob. But have your facts straight before you do this. I would never, without knowing I was 100% in the right, try to take somebody down. I would never dox anybody. I disavow doxing personally, and this podcast disavows doxing. We're coming on with a special episode just to kind of go over all this and watch this for ourselves, because it broke the last 72 hours. And last night was pretty crazy. And we're just doing this because I think that people need to see this video. I think I'm going to put this in the chat. No, not that, yeah, not that Giaizo. No. Hold on, let me just have to
Please
refresh this.
report.
Yeah. Ignore that Giaizo. That was a screenshot I sent Hi earlier. There. That one. The link I just sent, and I can't believe I boomered that. But that link that I have right there is this video. Watch the video.
Shiloh brigade a man who asked a simple question and tried to smear him won't help that already disappointing reality. But don't take my word for it. My side of this story is done.
And now Nick Diorio is gonna dab on take a victory lap. We'll get into that. But we go to Patient Zero's Twitter. Like I showed you at the start of the show. It's gone. It is gone. So this goes at 2 minutes, 2 seconds. I'm not going to play all of John Swan's video either, but just know, John Swan's video is good, and I'm going to get the link right this time. I'm going to get the link right. This is John Swan's video. Feel free to call in, guys. I know you're out there watching. And this one is going to be a quicker stream. Especially if nobody calls in, which is fine. So, why will those? And this is the only Onision thing in this, because people are asking why isn't he in jail? Well, we're about to find out.
To get a conviction. Throughout this segment, I'm going to put focus on one word in particular: evidence. To convict anyone of any crime, you need a lot of evidence. Evidence is sometimes hard to come by because it can't just be a person saying what happened. That's not evidence, that's a testimony. And in order for a testimony to be proven accurate, correct, and admissible, there needs to be cold, hard proof to back it up. So, where is the proof? Now, if you've been following this situation, your mind likely went straight towards Shiloh, who allegedly has videos archived originally uploaded on Onision's channel documenting Onision's abuse towards her. Any competent criminal defense lawyer would have many things to say about these videos being admissible in court. First of all, there's the issue of Onision's content itself. Much of it is not to be taken seriously and could be classified as satire. So why would these clips be any different? At the end of the day, it's just one person's word against another. That's not to say I don't believe Shiloh, but I'm trying to be fully objective here, erring on the side of caution, because that will be the lens of the court system looks at this from.
I'm back, everybody. Give me 1 second. Do that. And let me just figure out this. There we go. I knew I would boomer it up, but I'm back. I am back. And, seriously, guys, give us a call. Sorry for, I had to ping our Discord. I should have pinged it earlier, but it is what it is. So, knowing what we know, knowing that John Stallone is going to err on the side of caution, and he does, and he goes into his video and he explains it. Okay? So we know that. We know Shiloh at this point. I'm not saying she's lying about the Onision abuse at all, but on this. To me, she's not reliable at all. She's trying to dox people. And just like we've done with Momo Swift and other people who have been unfairly targeted by people trying to deplatform and everything. Wait a second. Hold on. Let me look at this. Nick DiOrio got a comment on his video with this. And it's on his public Twitter. We might as well kind of go over it. Why does Sarah have to be transparent? What? If it hadn't been for your assumptions... Oh, this is funny. This is funny to me. If it hadn't been for your assumptions, Angela wouldn't have tried to be a detective and she wouldn't have sent that stupidly worded tweet. So they're blaming DiOrio. They are blaming DiOrio for this. Like, what the... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. But that makes no sense. That makes no sense. If you hadn't have done it, we wouldn't have... That would... Really? Really? You cannot make this up, people. You can't. And I want you to understand, as I was looking for DiOrio's tweet there again, but I boomered that. But I want you to understand this. Nick DiOrio was doing what quote-unquote journalists do. He was asking questions. She was asking questions. Or he was, rather. I fucked that up. I really fucked that up. But anyway. And yes, hold on a second. I'm going to hide. I'm going to just... going to hide the window capture. Yeah, I just have to log into something here that I should have had earlier. Okay, so we're just... No, let's just see. Eh. You can't make this shit up. You really cannot. But at the same time, you gotta just deal with this, right? People are gonna be stupid, and I don't know. I really don't know. But we're going through this, and I know it's a bit of a shorter stream. We don't have any phone calls right now. Call in. I'm gonna actually just say that in the show topic. Call it. Call in, chat. Give me your opinions. I want to know what your opinions are on this. And you know what? Honest, and if we don't get any phone calls, I'm going to end the stream. But at the end of the day, you know, these are my opinions. Okay, these are my opinions. People on the podcast are going to have opinions. We're going to get into this on Friday, I think. It's just crazy that people think, oh, I can do, you know, that because I'm an Onision victim, I can try to send a 35,000 person hate mob after somebody and get away with it scot-free because they dared to question me. No, you can't. No, you can't. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys on Friday. We might pop up again later on. I don't know. But hey, until then, have a great one. Peace.